right, guys, welcome back to Emily Saves America. I'm sure you guys have a lot of issues with that. On today's show, liberals defending Somalians and Trump putting his foot down, Governor Gavin Newsom on a tour begging for money again, as Democrats love to do. We see it with Mondani. So he's touring begging for money. We have a student in New York City attacked by a man that has been jailed for multiple assaults. I actually just watched that interview with Megyn Kelly. It was really good. Kalshi teaming up with CNN, and Akash Singh becomes the Indian Will Smith. Sorry, Akash. We have a UK woman is arrested while naked by 11 cops.
I've heard 11 police officers turned up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd left my front door open. I was waiting for my dad to come to the house. I was actually in the bath.
And 11
they opened the door themselves.
And just came in?
And came in.
And you're in the bath?
Yeah.
And what do they say to you?
Well, I heard my name, which was one female out of the lot of them.
And 10 male officers?
Yeah. And then I heard my name, and I thought, it might be my sister, because it didn't sound like someone who was... Because obviously I was upstairs in the bath. And then they just come up the stairs, and they didn't give me any privacy or anything. Like, I had to...
You were naked?
Yes.
Jesus.
How did that make you feel?
Come on, Pierce.
I'm really upset. I was crying my eyes out.
And what did they say to you? What did they say they were there for?
Well, I was just asking them, can they just leave the female officer, and can they please go downstairs? As obviously I was upset, and I had no clothes on, and he kind of wanted to watch me get changed, and I was very upset about that. In the end, they did send the males down the stairs, and the female officer sat with me. I was crying my eyes out. I was really upset. And then I said, well, what are you even here for? Because I was shocked. I was in utter shock. And she said, for malicious communications, hate crime and malicious communications. And I said, well, what for? And they said, we'll discuss that when we get to basically to the police station.
Malicious communications. She's the one that said, F it. Yeah. She was talking, apparently, about a man that sexually assaulted her. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And she called him a faggot, rightfully so. And 11 people go, and 10 men and 1 woman go and arrest her in the middle of the night while she's taking a bath. Which is funny because I'm sure whoever did that to her is perfectly fine and not being inconvenienced in their home. But malicious communication, is that what they said? That's a crazy way to police speech, which is what they're doing. Also, her accent, I'm like, it's like the most like difficult to understand. Like, I'm going to call it a vintage accent. Well, it's better than hearing the Somalian accents. But yeah, no, that's they're going to come take you out of your bath. It's also crazy that what they're saying what she did was inappropriate, but while they're attempting to arrest her, every single one of those actions is insanely inappropriate and completely, I feel like, going way over the rights she's supposed to have. But yeah, I mean, I would be arrested in 5 minutes there. I can't stop calling people that. Liberal politicians and celebrities are defending Somalians, and Trump is putting his foot down against it.
First of all, federal prosecutors say 59 people have been investigated in these schemes so far. Americans at large stole tens of billions of forms of aid during the pandemic all over the country. Minnesota's fraud scandal stands out, according to federal auditors. What are you hearing from investigators right now?
Well, I've been following the cases closely as they've gone through the courts, and we know that there are more indictments possibly coming. I think that number might go up to 73 is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
I think what happened
it's like she's in on it.
When you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
Oh, yes. the old, it's our fault that you guys are funneling money. So let me get straight. They're like, so you're in charge. you're Somalian. You imported a bunch of Somalians where you live, and now they're doing fraud. And we're asking you, why do you think all this fraud is happening? Which obviously you're in on. You're like the leader of the Somalian fraud movement. And you're like, well, obviously, you guys, it's not me. It's the fact that you didn't do a good job stopping us from doing fraud. So it's actually your fault. Dude, only a Democrat could do this level of gaslighting. If it was a Republican and it was white people doing this, they would be like under fire and ask difficult questions. But I'm like, wait a minute. Why aren't you being investigated? Why are you sitting there doing an interview on CNN when you should literally be investigated? And then it's so funny because it's like, oh, talk about COVID relief. Yeah, there was also a lot of fraud in that. And it was also a lot of Somalians taking money and fraud in that as well. So maybe it's not a good look that your people are coming here and doing all of this. But once again, she's not even saying we take responsibility. We're looking into this. We're going to prosecute. She's like, it's not Somalians' fault that you guys didn't set up enough, safeguards with all these third-party systems. That's why we can't have these people in this country, you guys. Ben Stiller is defending Somalians, as one does, from his penthouse. So he said, Somalis are not garbage. I understand. It's so like, to not tune in to anything for like years and then to just post this is so random. Somalis are not garbage. Immigrants and refugees from anywhere are people like you and me. They're actually not. That's the thing about this with celebrities. They're actually not like us, which is the whole point of why we don't want them in the country. If they were like, normal Europeans, like some cool Brits like Ricky Gervais, we'd be like, come on in. But they're not. They act like third world animals. That's literally why we don't want them here. They shouldn't be demonized. This country is built on this country is built on other people. No, it's not. That's why when black people are like, we built this country, I go, historically, that's not even fucking true. What are you talking about? Like, Irish people were breaking their backs and building parts of this country. Like, what are you talking? It's just historically not even true. It's just something you say because they know they get to do zero research. And if you say anything, you'll be demonized. I'm like, no, most things were actually built by like poor white people. I know that you guys hate to say that, but it's true. Actually, the entire world was kind of built on the backs of poor white people and Europeans. So it's what our country's all about. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so let them live in your house. Let them go do fraud systems in your own home. Why do we have to live them? Do you think normal people in flyover states, no offense, guys, like want to live around Somalians? No. No one wants to live around them except for them. That's how you know it's a really big issue. I have no problem living around, Japanese, Chinese, Mexicans, just the whole Asian aspect. I'm fine with all of them. But it's like no one wants to live around Somalians, and we need to stop acting like any of us want to. Does this look like... he raped a child, and the local church claims he wasn't assimilated to non-Somalian life culture. Okay, so... is this the guy you want to... Put him in Ben Stiller's house. Ben Stiller, bail him out, put him in your Manhattan home. I'm sure he's gonna... Does he have kids? If he has a daughter, you should definitely just put him in the room. Like, she'll be fine. So he gets to rape a girl, and then the counter defense is, he wasn't assimilating. And I'm like, do you guys realize... for the Democrats that are so obsessed with defending these people, you literally just said that it is in their culture to rape children. So it's like, if your best defense for these people is like, you guys, they rape children where they're from, they didn't know they couldn't do that here, then I fear that you guys are not going to have a successful go at whatever Somalian propaganda you guys are trying to push, because that's very crazy. That is the craziest defense I've seen thus far. Why doesn't ICE go after these people? Like, I think we should take like a 24-hour break from the Hispanics, and we should go hard on the Somalians. Just go to Dearborn or wherever they all are. So Trump's thoughts on Somalians and other third world countries are quite clear.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you.
We have one more, but he's the most honest politician you guys will ever have in our lifetime. We have another video.
I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too.
Amen.
I can say it about other countries.
True.
We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
You know what the thing is?
Garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Oh my God, we hate her so much. I love that he hates her too.
Come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain.
True.
They complain, and from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch,
Yep.
we don't want them in our country. Let them go back.
I think he's actually getting better in his older age. I feel like he's like literally aging like fine wine. First of all, everything he said is true. You guys come from a third world shithole and you come here and complain, even though none of that is possible where you live. She wasn't going to rise into government in Somalia and make millions of dollars. She literally has to come here and do it through very shady ways, and then probably sends a bunch of that money back home to stimulate them because they're not able to do it on their own. And he's right. If you came from a perfect place and you came here where you were like, I have some complaints, I think it would be fair to listen to them. But I'm like, if you have so much pride in being Somalian, you should go back there. If you don't like it here, you should go back there. If you don't like being around white people or Christians or Americans, then you should also get the fuck out. And I think we're all on the same page about that. We're tired of people coming here complaining. It's like during the ICE riots, it's like, why are you waving a Mexico flag in America? Like, are we doing that there? I don't think we're burning down your buildings and showing your president, telling you guys to go fuck yourselves. Because you probably hang us or something. So it's just like we're just done with it overall. And specifically, we're now seeing that Somalians are just coming here committing fraud, and then raping little girls. So he's right. You're not contributing. Here's the thing: everything Trump says, like, I don't get emotional about it. So I see right through all the humor, and I think it's fantastic and a great delivery. But everything he says is true. But people are so retarded now, they can't handle the way he says it, which they would prefer someone like Joe Biden, who doesn't know where he is, lying to you so you feel better. I like when people are like, we miss a well-spoken president. Barack Obama was like literally carpet bombing children and has like married a man and is like Muslim and destroyed our healthcare system. And that's nice that he was like well-spoken. But guess what? It's like a relationship and friendships. At the end of the day, I'd rather have someone who's honest. There's actually nothing more important than being honest, okay? I'm not saying Trump's honest 100% of the time, but he's doing a much better job, okay? And in good international news for once, Adolf Hitler got reelected. So Adolf Hitler's now reelected in Namibia for the 5th time, and is finally changing his name. He is a 59-year-old, and he has to explain. God, I read that very wrong. I thought it said unfortunate monkey for years, and I was like, that's not right. Moniker. Anyways, basically, so the good thing is his name has not set him back at all. He has now been reelected. I believe this is his 5th time. And so I did a little research on ChatGPT, and it actually said that Adolf was a relatively popular name before everything happened. And now, most people change their names. They like to go away from that. But actually, they said in Germany and other places, Hitler was never a popular name. So I don't know if this went through Africa at some point, but he's so good. He's been reelected 5 times. And that's all on that, guys. Governor Gavin Newsom on a tour begging for money to misuse. So Halle Berry, I'm kind of shocked out of everybody, speaks out against him. She was saying the way he's overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be the next president. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know. I mean, first of all, that's great she's speaking out. I don't know what she's talking about with menopause bill and all this stuff. I'm not going to lie, even as a woman, I have not looked into that. That's definitely not on that is a very privileged thing to be upset about as a woman and to be looking into politics-wise. But I'm like, Hallie, 2 cities burned down. Like, I think he shouldn't be the next president because 2 cities, including one of the most expensive ones in the country, burned down. Vetoing a bill about menopause is not even on my list of the first 1 million things. But I guess good for speaking out. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to look into the menopause bill that he vetoed. And Gavin Newsom is leaving California again to beg for more money. So he's going on. I mean, he will do anything but be here doing anything. Unless it's a podcast, then he's the first one on it. He's left the state again about 2 weeks, returning from a climate conference in Brazil, the one where they tore down all the trees to tell us how bad of people we are. He's heading to New York City, Washington, D.C., and Arizona. Yeah, I mean, what? He'll do anything but be here. You know what I mean? Him and Karen Bass, I don't even talk about the fires. They don't even interview fire victims. They're not even trying to... Wait, we'd have that concert, and didn't we raise millions, hundreds of millions, potentially billions of dollars to help people that were affected by the fires? And all those went through some like kind of Act Blue, shady Democrat stuff, and none of those families have seen any of the money. And also now we went to investigations, and we don't know where any of the money went. So yeah, and it's crazy they act like Altadena and the Palisades didn't burn down. They act like it did not burn down. And Altadena was actually one of the last Black American mom and pop places to pretty much exist anywhere around here. And I even thought the liberals, I know that, I thought the liberals would be more upset about that. But no one seems to really care. So those 2 cities are gone. So I'm sure we can build, really nice Section 8 housing and Starbucks soon. San Francisco is suing food companies for making unhealthy food knowingly and making the state pay for the treatment.
Ultra-processed foods that are making us sick, plain and simple.
San Francisco's city attorney says he's filing a lawsuit on behalf of the people of the state of California, suing 10 major corporations, and he's hoping others will follow.
Our case is about companies who design food to be...
Well, who the fuck thought the neon frosting was healthy?
And marketed their products to maximize profits. Like the tobacco industry, they knew their products make people very sick.
I stand with big tobacco.
Truth from the public.
In the lawsuit, Chu claims the foods have created...
Wait, SpongeBob isn't healthy?
...leading to chronic diseases like cancer, depression, and type 2 diabetes, and that local governments have been forced to shoulder the costs of treatment. It's seeking financial compensation for cities that have treated sick residents.
I guess I'm not surprised. San Francisco is a very liberal city. So if someone has to do it...
Some San Francisco residents...
You sounded very liberal.
...surprised by the lawsuit. Others say they've been worried about ultra-processed foods for a while.
None of those are food.
Reading lists, and I am reading them every time I buy them nowadays.
The big question some people are asking about the lawsuit, why now?
The studies have finally come out that show conclusively the link.
We need studies to come out for this.
And all of the incredibly horrific healthcare outcomes that we've been seeing.
Walk down the street. That is the study.
That almost 70% of calories that kids ingest are ultra-processed foods.
Yeah, that's why they're all fat and retarded.
And this is not.
And that's why they're watching furry porn and shooting people.
Consumer Brands Association represents many of the corporations being sued. It responded today saying in part, quote, food and beverage manufacturers continue to introduce new product options that include increased protein and fiber, reduced sugars and soda.
Just have them eat f***ing food. Have them eat fruits, vegetables, raw shit, meat. You can eat a healthy cheeseburger. That's what's so First of all, I like how studies came out that said neon SpongeBob Oreos aren't good for you. I'm so tired of acting like we're this stupid. You guys, that's the whole system. It's why we go to war. That's all planned out for money. The food industry, the healthcare. Yes, they put all that crap in the food. I like how people trust the FDA. I'm the same people that approve vaccines. We should just trust all these people. But I'm they sell you the food that makes you sick. And then, you get sick, you have to go to the doctor. And then they sell you some fake cure just, long enough to keep you poor and alive. And then they kill you. That's the circle of life here. I mean, remember the fucking food pyramid? It was you should eat 9 loaves of white bread a day. I mean, who the fuck looks at the food pyramid now and is this is insane. This is nuts. No, the only healthy oils are what? Olive oil, avocado, bread here is poison, so it's shit for you. Fruits, veggies, meat, potatoes, that's what you should be eating. But I'm sorry. This is in liberal San Francisco. Oh, hi. Where were all of you guys during Maha? Where are all you guys when RFK is on Stan defending children and is being attacked for it by people who are on paper sold out by Big Pharma? There are Maha moms, and I will bring them up by name on this show, especially the one bitch I hate, because you have to be so crazy as a liberal dumbass mom to be like, no, I don't want the kids to be. The anti-Maha women are the biggest pieces of shit on the planet, but it's so funny because they will see this and literally reject it. They will literally be like, no. But I'm like, this is what RFK's been saying. This is what MAGA's been saying. Maha's been saying. And you guys all said we're like some conspiracy theorists. Okay, so where's our apology? Are we right? But I'm like, you guys need sources to know that Krispy Kreme isn't good for you. That's why you're all mentally retarded. That's why kids are like drinking soda and then the parents are hitting them because they're insane. And then they grow up, they watch furry porn and then they shoot up schools, okay? So like, sorry, none of this is good for you. The vaccines aren't good for you. The medication's not good for you. The drugs are not good for you. And by the way, the alcohol is also bad, okay? The weed makes you schizophrenic. I don't have anything bad to say about big tobacco yet. And I'm open to sponsorships. But other than that, like, yes, I fear that this is common sense, you guys. Common sense, okay? We have student in New York City attacked by a man that has been jailed for multiple assaults. Wow, we never hear that.
An arrest this afternoon in a disturbing attack on a college student in Greenwich Village. The NYU student was walking down the street when a man walked right up behind her and then hit her, knocking her to the ground.
What the?
This happened on Broadway.
Did you smack her ass or?
A woman behind her stopped to help. Police say they later arrested the man and they are looking into whether he's linked to another attack. No word yet on any charges.
You know what? See, Asians are like, dude, are you okay? If it was other groups of people, they'd probably be like, kid, you deserve it. That's what happens when I got mugged. Everyone just looked at me like I deserved it. Anyways, it looked like he smacked her ass really hard, but maybe it was her back? Jesus. God, can you imagine that happening to you and you like have headphones on, you're minding your business, but then he also takes her head, smacks her to the ground? That is crazy. That's nuts. So the man who was who attacked New York City student was being detained by the police.
James, what's wrong with you? Why do you keep attacking women?
James, you're a piece of shit.
Help us understand. Why do you keep attacking
What
women?
kind of reporting is this?
What were you doing inside that apartment?
What's wrong with you, James? James, anything you want to say to your victims?
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you think he's going to say? He's like nuts. You know, I'm not praising Muslim countries, but I do think if we just took people like this and we just hung them in the town square for everyone to see, I just think it would happen less often. And I think that there's data to back that, and that's all I'm saying. Also, so he had been out like attacking people multiple times, assaulting women, all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I can't believe someone did something one time, 10 times, got away with it, and then they went and did it again. These poor girls, also, I feel like these poor girls are like kind of traumatized after that. I mean, you know, they're getting punched in the face, they're getting assaulted, he's like smacking her ass and shoving her head down. I'm like, I think this kind of start to like, are you guys starting to get like, you know, a little like traumatized by all of this going on? If this happened to me one time, I would be walking around with mace, knife, gun. I'd have like freaking brass knuckles on. I'm like, that's really crazy. And she's just a normal girl. So we have Delta passenger cries after seeing body shaming text on another person's phone. She kind of looks the way I thought she would look. Passenger on Delta Airlines flight was cried ahead of a 2-hour flight, bro. You can't fucking tough it out. And she saw a seatmate sent a demeaning text complaining about her being a huge woman. I like how they said she has nearly 5,000 followers. Okay, is that a lot now? Are we praising 5,000 followers now? Yeah, so when I watched the video, it looked like she had looked over and it was a man texting. It was saying that she's huge, sitting next to him, and she just like could not handle it, started crying. I'm like, you guys, dude, we've gotten like, we're so soft here. It's crazy. Maybe you are fat. Like that's the thing. Why cry? Why not just look at something for once and think, you know what? Maybe there's some truth in that. I read comments. I see all the horrible things people say about me. Maybe there's some truth in it. They're like, you know what? Maybe I should go get a little Botox. Maybe I should lay off the spray tan. Maybe I should go get a spray tan. Maybe I've gained a little weight. You know, it's not always the victim thing of like everyone's always wrong and I'm right and I'm perfect. I'm like, maybe you are a little fat. I don't even understand. And maybe that guy just didn't want to be sat next to you because maybe you were taking up both armrests. But this whole thing of like everyone's like crying, like, oh my, like he's committed like violent hate crimes against you. Good for him. Good for him for not even clearly, you know, he just was like, you know what? Full send. He was like, I don't like this fat bitch next to me and I think she should lose weight. Yeah. And also, yeah, it's his private conversation. Why the fuck are you being nosy and then playing the victim and crying about it? I think that's annoying. We have fat phobia at a parking meter in, I believe, Los Angeles.
Why is there diet culture on the parking meters? Why do we have on the parking meter, sometimes I diet, don't feed me on the following holidays? Why are we promoting fat phobia and diet culture even on the parking meters in LA? It gets to a point. It really does get to a point. This is an issue and this needs to be fixed. West Hollywood, this is actually disgusting.
I mean, you can't stop thinking about food, even on a parking meter. You do realize when we talk about feeding meters, we're not putting chicken nuggets in it and cheeseburgers, sweetheart. We're talking about feeding it coins, currency, you know, not food. We're feeding it currency, okay? So first of all, wearing a Harvard sweatshirt while saying all of this is just peak irony, okay? But it's not, diet culture is not a real thing. Fat culture, I would say, is actually a real thing of trying to normalize these things. Diet culture is just called being normal. It's just called being normal, eating normal, not being overweight. But I'm like, you know what's so funny is to be triggered by a inanimate object that is a parking meter about feeding a meter, okay, somehow making it about your fat self, but not being offended by your own size, your own sugar levels, your blood pressure, the size of clothing you're wearing, the fact that you take up more space, you take up more resources, the fact that you're not offended by when your test results come back and none of them are good. I think it's interesting how you're not offended by any of those things, but you're offended by a fucking parking meter, okay? Society should bring back shame. You are sick, you are unhealthy, and you are slowly killing yourself. So when people are, try to get you to steer away from that lifestyle, they're actually the only ones that are potentially helping you and care about you. And just the Harvard sweatshirt just really does it all for me. You went to, what? Did you go to Harvard, but you're offended by a fucking parking meter? Yeah, this is why you didn't go to college, your opinions don't matter. Okay, well, I also don't get in fights with parking meters, so... CNN has partnered with Kalshi to integrate prediction markets into its global newsroom. This is crazy. So basically, the whole point is everyone knows the betting markets are becoming more accurate than the actual polls, unfortunately. So we saw when it was Trump with Kamala Harris, everyone was saying Kamala Harris was going to win. All the polls were like, oh, people are voting for her. She's going to win. We're going to have our first black president. But the difference is people who live in reality were putting money on the betting markets that Trump was going to win. And what happened? Trump won by a landslide. And there's been 2 elections in a row now where the betting markets have been way in front of the polls when it comes to who's winning. And it wasn't even close. They knew by a landslide. So congrats to Kalshi on this. This is huge. And maybe CNN will have to start telling the truth for once. It'll be interesting to see how this little integration goes. CNN, change it to green. Let's go. Go, Kalshi. So we have Asmongold on Kalshi.
Man, everybody's run out of money. People trust Kalshi odds better than CNN polls. That's how bad CNN is.
Yeah.
Is that they have to be legitimized by a gambling website.
I mean, that is a very bad look for CNN, but it's a really good look for them. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, no one trusts them anymore, so they had to potentially partner with someone who has more legitimacy than even they do. So we have a liberal on the Kalshi CNN partnership.
There is no greater sign of societal rot than the fact that Kalshi and CNN are partnering so that you can bet on the news. embracing predictions markets. Very same app that wants to financialize literally everything. There will be a trading contract on whether you think trans people should be left alone or not. No opportunity to buy a house, no. Not being freed from the chains of physical labor, no. Not making things like housework easier, no. The ability to gamble on world events
like cleaning,
unfold. Not education, not
like washing the dishes.
Hell, they're gonna fire you from your job as soon as they can figure out how much money they need to invest to automate it forever. No legitimate advancement of the human.
I don't even understand that. I'm like, babe, it's okay. You'll get a Tesla robot soon, and it'll do all the cooking and cleaning for you. I actually think my thing is like, well, why not? If we're voting, it's funny if we're placing bets and we're voting on like what bills are going to pass and all that, and people, it's so funny. It's always a broke liberal shitting on something, but if he was smart, you don't hate on it, you play and you make money. Say like what you betting on Kalshi, okay, like is this bill banning transgender people from a restroom gonna pass? And you bet and you make tons of money. Then it's like, see, that's the thing. Once again, I tweeted it. These people don't hate the system. They hate the position they're in the system. That's that in a nutshell. This is a great way to, A, legitimize a news network that has failed, and also potentially for someone who's broke and stupid like you to go bet and make some money. So that's a win-win. But once again, you just have to complain about how everything's broke, even though every system, babe, right now is set up for you to benefit if you just put a little effort into it. So the Kalshi co-founder is the youngest female billionaire. Crazy. I thought it was the chick, the Bumble chick or whatever. But yeah, co-founder Luana Lopez, Laura, LLL, has become the youngest self-made female billionaire in history, according to Forbes. Well, congrats to her. Shit. No hate here. We love a fellow girl boss, as people would say. We have Akash Singh in the he is the new Indian Will Smith. According to everything viral going on online right now, Akash claims his wife was a virgin when they met.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what? But she was like, she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, oh, me too? Or was it, what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said it.
Blacked out?
She said it, and then I was like...
When she said, I'm a virgin, you went, your heart exploded?
Yeah.
Well, he got happy. He's nothing compared to.
Exactly, dude. I was
a stallion compared to anybody else.
I like that his first reaction was like, yeah, so she lied. Like women do. I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, we have Akasha mocking Fresh and Fit.
As far as like the marriage and the incel thing, what we do is we provide guys information so they kind of go into dealing with women, especially in the West, in a way where they can protect themselves. Because marriage, even though it's a fantastic institution and we definitely believe in a nuclear family, the setup for it right now is not optimal because the divorce courts heavily, favor women. Yep. There's a lot of situations where guys can absolutely get destroyed from divorce and marriage. So we just tell guys, hey, go with your eyes wide open, understand the laws, understand.
Just say you're broke, Myron.
Know what you're getting yourself into.
I think I don't have a problem with, I don't disagree with what Andrew said. The way I look at it is, you watch them, you see them evolutionary charts from Neanderthal to Homo sapien. Yeah. Y'all are the first motherfucker out of Neanderthal. But grow with your audience, mature with your audience as you work on yourselves and add some nuance to what you're saying.
How old are you guys?
I mean, Myron can go himself. No one wants to be with Myron. He's like what is he? I see photos of him where he's like in traditional like Muslim garb, and now he's like saying like, go make a sandwich on Amazon, women aren't shit. And I'm like, babe, you promote a traditional family, but you don't have one because no one would tolerate being with you because you're literally disgusting. Good for them for being like, hey, you're kind of like retarded Neanderthals. But anyways, meanwhile, his wife is doing she's getting very nostalgic about her college days.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. The top 4 songs when I came back for my sophomore year: Click, Pop That, Bands Make Her Dance, Birthday Cake, the 2 Chainz.
Nostalgic.
Hey, it's your birthday. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. I was shopping at Rainbow. I was eating buffalo chicken wraps every day. I was straightening my hair with my French tips. You could not tell me nothing. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's Sometimes it like literally hurts my heart. And when the nostalgia is that painful, guess what I have to watch? This.
Oh.
The only thing that'll give me a little quick
I hope your past was not like the movie Step Up. So nostalgia to her is not mine, like, you know, playing Tony Hawk or like listening to Jimmy Eat World with like, you know, the Kool-Aid drinks that came in the plastic. Hers was like, wow, I miss getting my back blown out to 2 Chainz, getting blacked out drunk, and then eating a Crunchwrap Supreme. Like, damn, did you ever even play Silent Hill, the video game? She's like, no. We were my roster of men. It sounds like she was shopping at a stripper store. I mean, that's beautiful. You know, sometimes you can think things and then not post them online. But anyways, this is her thoughts on a hookup that she had.
If your man is weird about periods, that's a red flag. Break up with him immediately, no pun intended, because when I was in college, I dated this guy. You know, he didn't want to fool around when I was on like the heaviest days of my period. Okay, totally understandable, I get that. And I was like, oh great, good news, my period ended, like we can like have fun tonight, blah blah. And he was going down on me. Like, wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also, if you're like poking around down there, like more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. And I swear to God, like I thought my period was done. He like looked at me with so much disgust.
Is this like for her TikTok?
At that moment, like I felt so ashamed and so dirty, and like he was like, "How could you do this to me?"
Wait, hold on.
This stuff ruined the night, and like
wait, hold on. The fact that wait, I'm sorry. I thought you were a virgin when you met your husband. But you were like literally just having guys, you literally are saying you were hooking up with guys on your period, and they were going down on you while you were bleeding. So that's not good. We also, this is maybe the, dude, if you're going to lie, you have to remember your lies, and you should also just not go on. We have a video. So she woke up with a sore butthole after not having sex with a guy.
And by the way, if a guy likes anal, it doesn't make him gay. But maybe he's bi.
Yeah. Priya, anyways, there you go. If you want to join in, maybe we'll take signups one day.
Yeah. One day we'll do a sign-up sheet. Wait, okay. I have 2 butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. Like this was like in the OG days of the app. And this guy, he was like some, how do you say, half Asian, like baddie. Wasian. That's the word. Yeah, Wasian. Actually in the Bay. That's when I was living in the Bay Area. And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remembered that I would like try to finger me in my asshole. I'm like, first of all, we were not on those like terms. But anyways, so that was non-consensual actually. That was
Is this the version?
Non-consensual like butthole action. But now like with my husband, we've done it a few times. And
oh my God.
Like, not to be too graphic, but like the orgasm, like from if your husband is eating you out, fingering you, and has a finger in your butthole, you'll get a trifecta orgasm. It's kind of insane.
Next question from an anonymous
This is literally why I have a level of respect for Muslim countries. I'm not even joking. Okay, so let me get this straight. This is the sweet little Indian virgin princess. But she's like, yo, if your guy's not gonna like eat your pussy on your period, just fucking kick his ass to the curb in one video. The second video, bragging about getting raped, which is a really weird way to go about anything on social media. You have someone whose husband's in the public eye. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You invite guys, so you're on dating apps that are only for hooking up. Okay, you're not with a matchmaker. You're not pursuing an Indian matchmaking marriage thing. You are on the dirtiest besides Grindr of them all, Tinder. And you let men come over, sleep in your bed, wake up with a sore butthole, not knowing what would happen. And you think we're going to believe after all of these videos have resurfaced that you were a virgin when you met your husband. And we have one more video. She wants to hook up with her co-host boyfriend. She's the horniest virgin we've ever met.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband?
Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines.
Oh.
And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us four? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we did it.
Thick. It's thick.
I'd only been down for an orgy if we do it above my in-laws, or we're not doing it at all.
Is it? I mean, what? I mean, is he just coming home and he was like, hey, babe, do you have a good day at the podcast studio? Oh, sorry, we have another video. Doesn't think about her husband when she's using her vibrators. This is like the horniest chick I've ever.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Okay.
Wait, he used to.
I'm
So-
meeting Nav's dad tomorrow, and I will say I'm nervous because
Don't
he
be
has
nervous.
the. Not to be weird, but he has big dick energy, and he,
Okay, so let me get this straight. She wants to her co-host's husband, says his face card never declines and has a huge dick for sure. So wants to gangbang pretty much everyone in the room. Now she's talking about her husband's dad coming over, who has also big dick energy. So she's like, she's just open to everything. There's nothing off bounds for her. And then, last video, hopefully, doesn't think about her husband when using her vibrators. This is the last one. Oh, there's more. Don't worry.
Funny story.
Yeah.
One time I was using my vibrator at my parents' home.
What the podcast
In my
is this?
childhood bedroom. Okay, I was home for like 2 weeks.
wait, can I also ask what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think. My imagination.
She's like, what? I would never think about my husband.
Wow, I actually have a lot of respect because I don't think I would be able to do that. Number one, and number two, my OCD would never, in my intrusive thoughts, it would keep getting
No,
interrupted.
I sometimes think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I
Yeah.
could never do that.
Yeah, and so I was.
Okay,
using
so
it.
she's like,
ADHD.
she's like, I would never think about my own husband while I masturbate, you guys. I'm so sorry to this husband. Please. Oh, wait, we have a video compilation of her dodging his kisses. Her husband, by the way.
Look good, Mr. Armstrong. Armstrong.
Oh my God.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend that.
Oh my God, this is one of the most humiliating things I've ever seen. I'm so sorry.
I want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't care about. I like tangible goods.
Oh, I'm sure she does. He's got a little money, I'm sure. She doesn't look like she's in this relationship to work. And then we have her explaining what she meant when she was talking about popping her pussy.
Popping pussy.
Yeah.
Let's just get some definition.
That's the husband on the couch.
We're gonna any terms that you might need to know the actual meaning of. Alex is here to break it down.
I thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up.
Sure.
My mistake.
Yeah.
So I acknowledge that.
Look at this.
Big one.
Yeah, the act of getting dressed up, looking fly as hell.
Babe, don't defend her.
3-inch heels, preferably higher, and dancing your ass off
Urban
into the
Dictionary
wee hours of the morning. That
made
was what
by
I
a
was
white
doing.
man.
Yeah, this is white people. This is what you learn. Guys, what do you think popping pussy is?
Dude. And as he's sitting on the couch, okay, so she explains her butthole story. As he's sitting on the couch, it's crazy.
Was there, before we wrap this up, was there anything that you saw? Was there anything that, like, obviously all the things I imagine made you feel bad. Was there anything that specifically bothered you or, yeah?
I mean, I think people talking about the sore butthole story, because
Yeah.
that was more kind of like
That's your wife.
assault story, but I didn't want to label it as such because I didn't think it was super traumatizing and I had already shared one.
Right.
And I feel like the internet has a quota
for girls of like how many assault stories they could share, regardless of if it's true or not.
So now it's rape. Got it.
Obviously, I
You think the
didn't.
internet would be like, oh, every story she tells us she's
that's
getting
why
assaulted.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
do that. So I was like, oh, this happened. I didn't really say it's okay.
So what happened, if you don't mind?
It's like,
so I was living in San Francisco, working on
Definitely
my
a
internship.
butt thing would happen there.
here's the thing that's so crazy in front of your husband. You said you were a virgin. To have to then go sit in front of, I think, comedians to talk about how you let a guy off Tinder finger your asshole and obviously probably fuck it too the first night you met him. But I'm like, what kind of like humiliation ritual is happening here? Like, I literally made a joke to my boyfriend this morning because he was like, he watched like one clip. He's like, that's not that bad. And then I showed the one of the girls in the podcast. He's like, yeah, your shit would be outside in the garbage bin within 15 minutes. Like, I would hire staff to take your shit the fuck out. You would be blocked on everything. Like, because even he was trying to be like, well, isn't he a comedian? Maybe she's a comedian. Maybe it's funny. I'm like, no, I think she's just a dumb bitch. I don't think she's a comedian. I think she's just a dumb whore who was smart enough to manipulate someone who's probably a nice person, had a little bit of money, and she did the good girl thing. And now you realize, like most women, she is just a kind of evil, stupid, dumb whore. And now you are humiliated on a world stage with more than enough evidence to the point you can't even deny it. We have an image on this. Look, if Steiny says something, that's how you know it's really bad. Oh my God. I mean, the thing is, you can't even clear those things up. Also, for her to be like telling a funny story, but then she does the typical female thing when you're in hot water and you're like, well, actually, it was assault and it was a very serious thing. I go, oh, so what part of that was forced and against your will? What part of being a whore and inviting a dude off of Tinder into your bed the first night you meet him? You should be happy he wasn't a serial killer, actually. And then it's so funny. That's what women do. They will avoid accountability at every corner. And they'll just be like, well, oh, you're going to laugh at it? Well, actually, I was assaulted. Yeah, actually, I was raped. Actually, if you make fun of it, you're a really bad person. And I'm just like, look, the life has left his eyes. There is nothing left in him. Look, bro, we've all seen the clips. She sucks. Get a good lawyer, get a good prenup, and just kick the bitch to the curb. I mean, also, I understand she's clearly not working. But why are you letting her go do podcasts? Aren't you supposed to be the funny one? Tell her to shut the fuck up and go volunteer like most housewives do. Go do something that's not humiliating you while ruining your career and reputation on the center stage of the world. I do politics. If I have to get involved in this bullshit, that's how you know it's really bad, okay? We have video of Australian bans social media for kids under 16. I think this is fantastic.
In 1 week, Australia will become the first country in the world to ban under 16s from having social media accounts. With one law, we can protect Generation Alpha from being sucked into purgatory by predatory algorithms described by the man who created the feature as behavioural cocaine. Teenage addiction was not a bug, it was a design feature. And on 10 December, there are going to be withdrawal symptoms. Teenagers will be upset, some will fight to get back on, some will manage to find their way around the tech and keep their accounts. But I truly believe the short-term discomfort will be worth the long-term benefit.
Good for them. There is no positive that they've done the studies. It's literally like kids' cocaine, and then it's her. Like, seriously, then the government can't be like finding them and MK Ultra them, giving them weapons and, you know, making them clinically insane, giving them SSRIs. There's no, but everyone online, as you can see from X accounts, are mentally ill, psychopaths, and pedophiles. That the internet, that's what the internet is. If they want to do school projects, if they have access to information, they could go read a book. There is no reason a kid, even 16, take it up to 18, who gives a shit, needs to be on social media. You shouldn't be posting. You should have a private life. You have friends, you go to school, you see them. You don't need to be connecting with children around the world. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the best thing they could do. They could maybe this is one step in going back to actually being a kid, doing kid things, focusing on kid things, creating real friendships, not this freak shit online where you're connecting to, you know, other furries in different counties. That doesn't need to happen anymore. This should be all around the world. All around the world. We need this here. What good is coming from kids being online? I see stories like every week now, kids killing themselves because they're like influencers and they're getting bullied. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing normal about that. So good for Australia. Don't agree with a lot of things you guys do, but I think this is a win-win. Nothing bad to say about this. That's it, guys. Good job, Australia. I would actually like to see within the next like 5 to 10 years the actual data that like comes from that, because we know that shit's bad. It's the same thing with us. Like we're so addicted and the clicks and the views and the drama, but it is, your nervous system is never at rest. That's also why we're sick, we're anxious, we're depressed, all these things. It is like heroin. And so I wonder over the next like 10 years, like what studies they're going to find. I'm sure those kids are going to be more focused in school. They're going to, you know, not become clinically insane on TikTok, which is an app that should be banned. It should be banned. I want TikTok to get banned. It is whatever it is fucking bad. There's nothing good that comes from it. That app is like insane. I don't know what they're trying to do with us on that. That's why everyone has a 60-second brain span. They can't handle any more than that. But yeah, I think this is really good. So good for you guys, Australia. Now you just gotta give people the right to bear arms. Anyways, see you soon, guys.